You're listening to an AI podcast.
Hello and welcome if you're maybe planning that amazing trip to Thailand soon.
Yeah, hello. Sawasdee crap. And today we're diving into something you might have mixed feelings about, maybe. Thailand's green season.
Right. Also known, maybe less appealingly, as the low season. Or even the monsoon season.
Exactly. Those names can sound a bit off-putting, can't they?
They really can. But forget those gray skies for a minute. Our mission today, for you, the listener planning your trip, is to give you the real insider info.
We've looked at some great resources aimed specifically at foreign tourists, haven't we?
We have. And we want to show you how this green season, it can actually be a fantastic time to visit. Maybe even better in some ways.
It's kind of like finding a hidden gem, you know? Aside of Thailand, lots of people miss out on.
Totally. And that name, green season, it just sounds so lush, doesn't it? Way better than rainy season.
It really does paint a picture. And honestly, it's accurate. Everything is incredibly green. Okay, so let's get straight into it. Why should someone consider going during this time? What are the actual tangible benefits?
Well, the first big one is fewer crowds. Think about those iconic temples or beaches.
Ah, right. So you're not fighting for space, trying to get that perfect photo.
Exactly. You get a much more, well, relaxed experience. You can actually breathe and soak it all in. It feels more personal somehow.
That sounds pretty magical, actually. A calmer vibe.
Definitely. And that calmer vibe often means you connect more with the place, with the local culture, too.
Okay, and speaking of relaxing, what about the impact on your wallet, your bank account?
Ah, yes. The other big plus, prices. They tend to be lower, sometimes quite a bit lower.
For things like hotels, flights.
Yeah, accommodation, flights, even tours sometimes. You can get some serious bang for your buck.
So it could be a really smart move if you're traveling on a budget, or maybe splash out on a nicer hotel than you usually would.
Precisely. It opens up possibilities that might be too pricey during the high season. It's great value.
Good to know. And let's circle back to that green aspect you mentioned. It's not just marketing speak.
Not at all. The rain really transforms the landscape. Everything just explodes in green. It's unbelievably vibrant.
Wow, so like for photographers or just nature lovers.
Oh, it's amazing. The foliage is thick, lush, and after the rain clears, the air can be so crisp and clear. Those views just pop.
Sounds stunning. And there's another point, maybe a surprising one, about the temperature.
Yes. Often, right after a downpour, the air feels noticeably cooler, fresher.
Like a nice little break from the usual tropical heat.
Exactly. It's quite refreshing, actually. A temporary cool down. Mind you, it's still tropical. You won't need a jumper. But it's a pleasant change.
Okay, those are some really compelling reasons. Fewer crowds, lower prices, amazing scenery, even a bit cooler sometimes.
Makes you think twice, doesn't it? But, okay, let's tackle the elephant in the room. The rain itself. What's the reality?
Yeah, because monsoon season sounds like nonstop downpours, right?
Yeah.
Let's decode the rain situation.
Right. So the key thing to understand, based on what we've seen, is that it's usually not constant rain all day long. Not in most places, anyway.
Okay.
Typically, it comes in bursts, often quite heavy, intense showers, but they're usually short-lived, maybe in the afternoon or evening.
Ah, okay. So more like a dramatic tropical shower that passes, rather than that gray drizzle we might get back home.
Exactly. You might get a proper soaking for an hour or two, and then the sun comes out again. It can be quite dramatic, actually.
So you could, like, plan your main sightseeing for the morning or early afternoon, maybe?
That's often a good strategy, yeah. Plan for potential indoor time later. But, and this is super important, it really depends where in Thailand you are.
Okay, this is crucial. The regional differences. Let's break that down. What about the Andaman coast? Phuket, Krabi, Koh Phi Phi, Koh Lak, those places.
Right. So the Andaman side, that's where the main southwest monsoon hits hardest during this period, generally May to October. Meaning you should expect more frequent rain there. The seas can also get quite rough.
Oh, so that could affect things like boat trips, ferries to the island.
Definitely. Ferry services can be limited, sometimes canceled. And another thing, some national marine parks might close temporarily for safety and to recover.
Okay, good heads up. So maybe not the prime time for serious island hopping on the Andaman coast. What about the other side, the Gulf Coast? Koh Samui, Koh Phangan, Koh Tao.
Ah, now this is the golden nugget of info for green season travel. The Gulf Islands have a different weather pattern.
Well, how so?
While the rest of the country is getting its main rains, the Gulf side is often much drier and sunnier between, say, May and September or October.
Really? So it's kind of the opposite.
Pretty much. Their heavier rainy season tends to kick in later, more like October, November, December. So if you're traveling June, July, August. the Gulf can be a fantastic escape.
Wow, that is a serious insider tip. If sunshine and beaches are top priority, head to the Gulf. Okay, what about up north? Chiang Mai, Chiang Rai, Pai.
Northern Thailand does get its share of rain, usually those afternoon showers we talked about. But this is what makes it so incredibly green and beautiful.
I can imagine. All those mountains and rice paddies.
Exactly. And the waterfalls, they're usually absolutely thundering and spectacular during the green season. It's a different kind of beauty, really lush and alive.
Sounds amazing for nature lovers. And Bangkok, the central part of the country.
Similar pattern, generally. Afternoon showers are common, but Bangkok is, well, Bangkok. There are so many indoor things to do.
Right. Shopping malls, museums, temples, cafes. A bit of rain doesn't really stop the city, does it?
Not at all. Plenty to keep you busy and dry if you get caught in a downpour.
Okay, so understanding those regional variations is absolutely key. Got it. Now, beyond the weather itself, what else do travelers, especially foreigners, need to keep in mind? Let's talk health and safety.
Super important. And the sources we looked at really emphasize a few points. First up, mosquitoes.
Ah, yes. More rain means more mozzies, right? And dengue fever is a risk.
It is. Dengue is present in Thailand, and mosquito numbers do increase with the rain, so protection is vital.
Okay, so what's the best defense?
Use a good insect repellent, preferably one containing DEET. Be extra vigilant around dawn and dusk, that's peak biting time.
Right.
Wearing light-colored long sleeves and trousers helps too. And use mosquito nets or coils if your accommodation provides them. Simple stuff, but effective.
Definitely worth doing. What else on the safety front?
Slippery surfaces. After a sudden downpour, tiled floors, pavements, even steps and temples can become really slick.
Yeah, I can picture that. Easy to take a tumble if you're not careful.
Exactly. So, wear shoes with good grip. Don't rush. Just be aware of where you're stepping.
Makes sense. Anything else? Like food or water?
Just the standard advice, really. Stick to bottled water. Be sensible with street food. Choose places that look busy and where food is cooked fresh and hot. Basic travel smarts. Oh, and one more thing. If you're planning on trekking in jungle areas, leeches can be more common during the rainy season.
Leeches. Okay, how do you deal with those?
Yeah. Long trousers tucked into your socks usually does the trick. Some sources even mention special leech socks if you're doing serious jungle hiking. Worth knowing about.
Good tip.
Yeah.
Okay, health and safety covered. Let's move on to packing. I guess you tack differently for the green season.
Absolutely. Forget the heavy denim jeans. They take forever to dry. Think lightweight, quick-drying fabrics, breathable stuff.
Right, and protection from the rain itself.
Essential. A compact umbrella is a must. And a lightweight, packable rain jacket, something you can easily carry around.
And crucially, protecting your valuables.
Yes. A waterproof bag, or at least a dry bag insert for your phone, camera, passport, wallet. You do not want those getting soaked in a sudden downpour.
Definitely not. What about footwear? You mentioned good grip.
Yeah, water-resistant sandals with decent tread are good for every day. But also, pack a pair of closed-toe shoes that you don't mind getting wet, maybe trainers or walking shoes. They offer more support and protection, especially if you're walking a lot or on uneven ground.
Good call. And one more tech tip.
A power bank, especially if you're heading to more remote areas or islands. Heavy storms can sometimes cause temporary power cuts, so having backup charge for your phone is smart.
Very smart.
Yeah.
Okay, packing sorted. How about getting around? Does the rain mess with transport?
It can do. Flexibility is key here. We mentioned ferries already, particularly on the Andaman side. Expect potential delays or cancellations if the sea is rough.
Right, flights too.
Flights can sometimes be delayed by severe storms, yeah. It's just wise to build a little buffer time into your itinerary, just in case.
And what about getting around on land? Motorbikes are popular in Thailand?
Yes, but the advice is really strong on this. If you are not an experienced motorbike or scooter rider, the rainy season is not the time to learn. Wet roads are incredibly slippery and dangerous.
Okay, noted. So what's the alternative?
In cities and tourist areas, ride-hailing apps like Grab or Bolt are widely available and much safer in the rain. Or use local songthos or tuk-tuks, negotiating the fare first.
Good alternatives.
Yeah.
So what happens if you do get caught out in a big shower? What's the mindset?
Embrace it. Honestly, remember, it probably won't last that long. See it as a chance to dive into something else.
Like what?
Duck into a cozy cafe, get a fantastic, affordable Thai massage, explore a museum you hadn't planned on, or, hey, sign up for a Thai cooking class. Brilliant rainy day activity.
Love that idea. turning the rain into an opportunity.
Exactly. And in the bigger cities, those huge air-conditioned shopping malls are always there as a dry refuge, too.
True. What about staying connected? You mentioned apps.
Yeah, getting a local Thai SIM card is highly recommended. They're cheap and easy to buy at the airport or places like 7-Eleven.
And that helps with maps, booking transport, checking weather.
All of that. Plus staying in touch. It just makes things smoother.
Definitely. Now, there's a famous Thai phrase, "My pen rai." How does that fit in?
My pen rai. It's wonderful. It basically means, no worries, it's okay, never mind. It reflects this lovely Thai attitude of just rolling with things, not getting stressed about little inconveniences.
So, kind of the perfect attitude for green season travel, when things might not go exactly to plan because of the weather.
Exactly. Adopt a bit of that my pen rai spirit. Be flexible, relax, and your trip will be much more enjoyable.
I like that. Any other quick cultural points?
Just the usual reminders, really. Dress respectfully at temple shoulders and knees covered, even if it's hot. That's important year-round.
Right.
And bargaining in markets is common. You might even have a bit more leverage in the low season, but always do it politely with a smile. It's part of the interaction.
Good reminders. Okay, wow, we've covered a lot. Let's try and crystallize the main takeaways for someone thinking about this green season trip.
Okay, so bottom line. Thailand's green season offers fantastic value, fewer crowds, lower costs, incredibly lush scenery, big upsides.
But you need to be prepared, right?
Yeah.
Especially for the rain.
Exactly. And crucially, understand those regional weather differences. The Gulf Coast is often sunny when the Andaman Coast is wettest. Do your homework for where you want to go.
And take those health and safety tips seriously. Mosquito protection, being careful on slippery surfaces.
Yeah.
Non-negotiable, really.
Absolutely. Pack smart. Quick dry clothes, waterproof bag, umbrella, good shoes, essentials.
And be flexible, especially with transport plans. Things might change. Have that my pen rai attitude ready.
Which brings us back to that big question someone might have. Is it really worth it if it rains quite a bit?
Yeah. Is the rain a deal breaker?
Well, based on everything we've discussed, I'd say for most people, the answer is a definite yes, it is worth it.
Because the rain isn't usually constant.
Right. It's often short bursts. And the benefits, the lower prices, the smaller crowds, that amazing green landscape can genuinely make for a more special, maybe more authentic experience.
And like you said, for some places like Koh Samui or Koh Phangan, it might actually be the ideal time weather-wise.
Exactly. It really depends on your priorities and where you go.
Okay. So if people want to dig deeper, check forecasts, get official advice, where should they look?
Good question. The Tourism Authority of Thailand, TAT website, is excellent, tourismthailand.org. They have an English version.
Okay.
For weather specifics, the Thai Meteorological Department, tmd.go.in, also very useful.
And general travel advice.
Always check your own country's official foreign travel advisories before you go. For health info, the WHO and CDC websites are the go-to resources.
Right. And maybe travel forums for recent experiences.
Yeah, they can be helpful for on-the-ground tips, but just, take individual opinions with a grain of salt. Cross-reference info.
Sound advice. Okay, fantastic resources there. So I guess our final thought for you listening is, don't rule out the green season.
Absolutely. Do a bit of planning, pack appropriately, have the right mindset.
And you could have an absolutely incredible, unique, and really rewarding adventure in Thailand. Embrace the green.
Couldn't agree more. Go for it. Rain or shine.
See you next time. Bye.